good evening, fellas. The music was so good, somebody said. Interesting. Let's put it a bit up. Give me 1 second. Yeah, maybe something like this. Oh, sign into chat. Jesus Christ, okay. That's a little bit weird. Give me 1 second. You guys can hear me now, right? Yeah, I guess you can hear me now. What did I want to do? I wanted to do something. I forgot. Awesome. Well, good evening, fellas. I wanted to do something. I don't actually remember. I forgot in a moment. All right, cool. So that kind of is good. What else did I want to do? Oh, yeah. For some reason, yeah, that's a little bit weird. Give me 1 second. How are you guys doing? How is life serving you? Give me just 3 seconds. I just need to configure some crap. Wow, okay. That's weird. Just setting up some chat here on my top screen. Great. Okay, cool. Whew, all right. Yeah, well, good evening again. It's been a few days since we saw each other, right? We had friends staying at our place for a couple of days. So it's been yeah. It's been yeah, a lot of days. I didn't work today. I took the days off. I took a day off today. And yeah, that's more or less there. That's more or less that. And yeah, today we continue with certain things. Let's take a look at that, and then in a couple of days we're gonna start with either Noster and ActivityPub protocols thing that I discussed before, or we're gonna finalize this bubble wrap thing, right? So we'll need to finalize this. If you remember, right, we started porting our progressive web app to Android and iOS stores, right? So fundamentally, thankfully, we don't need to build a different app for different platforms. We can just have one and ship it to Android and iOS and have a web app that we focus on, right? So in a couple of days, we'll probably actually first finalize this that we started and kind of didn't do long ago. And then, yeah, we'll do these guys, right? So, and then we need to do a real hashtag system at one point. Right now, we just have finite amount of tags. Meetup, sign up experience. Okay, so all right, give me a second. Let's see what we play. Let's start actually with Ain't My Bitch. What framework do you recommend for building something like a portfolio or a landing page for a software development company? I guess I would need more details. Play one game, right? It depends on. It really depends on the level of content management system they need. So if they just need a page that's okay, let's draw it, right? I think it's always easier if we draw these things, right? So whenever you're building any sort of web pages for companies, right, there are two paths there, right? There are two paths. There's a less of CMS, what a CMS content management system, and then more of CMS. Let's just call it like that, more of CMS. When do you pick one, right? Well, for example, when I was at Airtime, right? When I was at this company 7 or 8 years ago, I was responsible for helping of building this website. And the requirement usually is that if you have a marketing website, it has to be maintained by marketers, like customer success, sales team, marketing team, right? In these circumstances, the CMS, the content management system, is the most important because it is the, let's say, content creators in your company, marketing team that writes the blog posts and stuff like that, right? So that would be more of CMS. So it really boils down to if the product that you're building has a huge need for building content, right? Of course, on top of that, you want to build something where you don't want to use the developer's time of updating a blog post. That's a ridiculous and huge failure. That would be a huge failure of the system itself, because you don't want your developers, which have the highest salaries in the whole company, to be spending time writing, publishing marketing blog posts, right? So if you don't need the CMS, if it's a site that's gonna be static for the most part, then you can choose any framework that does that, right? When I built Airtame, when I helped building Airtame, Airtame was built using Hardly Press, which is a WordPress static site generator. So Attila, the CTO of Airtame, and I back then, we researched this together, and we found something awesome. We needed both the CMS, but we wanted both speed and security of a single or of a statically generated websites, right? So we found this service, which basically offers you a CMS as a backend, WordPress, which is still the best CMS out there by far due to the support. But then it generates the when you publish the website, it generates a static site and publishes it to AWS S3 bucket, basically. And then it obviously publishes it by putting it in front of the CDN, right? So this was an amazing service. I don't know if Airtame still uses this because, you know, I've been working there literally, I think, 7 years ago or something like that. So, but I think they probably are, right? If we take a look at the Vapalizer, yeah, they still are. So I can see it still says WordPress, but they are actually using a Hardly Press, right? So these types of services give you the best of both worlds. You get the content management system, and then when the CS marketing teams, when they publish these things, they generate a static site. That's why if you go to Airtame, you'll see that it's incredibly fast, because this is now merely just static pages, right? If you don't need this, again, you can use Jekyll, for example, as well. There's a bunch of these static site generators with some templating engines. This is another one. I think Alexander XYZ, my old blog. You can see that this is my blog, and this is built using Jekyll many, many years ago, right? So any of these static site generators are awesome. You end up using Handlebars or some other templating engine, right? Or you can use these cool new things on the blog like Next.js or some crap like that, right? But then it doesn't really matter, right? So again, you have to ask these, you have to answer these fundamental questions first before you then make a decision. So how much of this is going to be managed by the sales, marketing, whatever, and you said it's going to be managed by developers. In that case, you can just use a statically generated site, right? Like Jekyll, there's shit tons of them, right? Let's find it, right? You have Hugo, yeah. You have Hugo. You have okay. I wouldn't use many of those. Actually, we use Squarespace now at Dream Data for our website. Drupal is very old. WordPress, I would suggest always. WordPress is so old. It has huge ecosystem, right? Ghost is a Node.js. is a CMS built in Node.js. I remember actually I contributed to it back in the day. I don't know if it's still maintained. I would assume so. And then these are the newer things. Next.js, same Nuxt.js, just Vue.js and crap like that, right? But Gatsby is also React, right? So if you like to write React, Gatsby is actually, ironically, yeah, actually, let me know. But this is also this predictated Next.js, right? So this is like Jekyll, just your templating engine is React, right? So you could also do this as well, right? And then, of course, you could use like service workers. You can use free Cloudflare package. So you can, if you ever need to send an email, if you need stuff, you can use serverless functions for that, like on on Cloudflare and stuff, right? Basically, so what you could do, you could technically you could have your static site, for example, in front of Cloudflare, right? So you have your, I don't know, some static site. It can also just as well be HTML and CSS manually written with Tailwind. So you can go as simple as that, just HTML, CSS, Tailwind, and jQuery, for example. You could use jQuery. It's still very, very relevant. And then you could put that in front of Cloudflare, basically, right? So you could put a CDN there and also use, you know, service workers. And then, yeah, of course, you know, like serverless functions and stuff like that. This way, 100% free, insanely good performance. You can do so many things with Cloudflare. You know that we are using it for Programmer Network, and it's insane, and it's all free, right? So basically, with this two, you can do miracles, really. And also, depending on the simplicity of your website, you can also host it on GitHub pages, and just add that CNAME file inside of the GitHub pages in your repository. So fundamentally, you literally get it fully for free, if that is important, right? But if you're building this for a company, then money shouldn't really be an issue, right? All right, that's it. Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's go and do some work today. I haven't been coding in like 4 days now, and I think I've been drunk past 4 days every night. So I need to collect my thoughts. Right back at you, buddy. Right back at you. Lonely, good evening, buddy. How you doing? Let me just do some work today, because we're still in this. Of course, man. My pleasure. My pleasure. It's a good question. It's a good question. Just keep it simple, right? Just keep things simple. Don't start from some. Don't start from the peak of the mountain. Start from the bottom, right? Just do simple things. HTML, CSS, and plain JavaScript is sometimes more than you need, right? So don't encapsulate yourself in shitty frameworks, abstractions that you don't fundamentally need, because some things are inherently simple. And people in this community, especially people who never wrote any code that dictates pre-JavaScript, whatever, have huge tendencies of overcomplicating things which are inherently simple, right? So sometimes you don't need a framework, right, for those types of site. You just need a bit of JavaScript. I need to submit this form. I need to validate this form. Not every site has a bunch of JavaScript, right? Some sites are just there to show some content, right? And in these circumstances, you don't need to encapsulate yourself into this world of huge abstraction and transpiling, you know, compiling and shit like that. Actually, yes, I read about the React. I think this morning I read it on the official blog. I read it on the official blog here, and I was actually happy. This is what I read, I believe today. And yeah, this is awesome. I mean, I love React. I think React is great. I think React is the simplest library we have, with the least amount of abstractions or to say the least amount of features to learn. And I think if they manage to do this, I'll be very happy. I'll be very happy, because React is still the most popular front-end library, right? For a reason, because it's incredibly simple. And if they could kind of take away these things from us, so these optimizations are done by default instead of us needing to think about it, even though it's not rocket science, if you just use a little bit of patience and you know, using these things often is not that difficult, right? But if they can take away this from us and just say, hey, just write it and we're gonna figure out when to render, I mean, that's great. I mean, and look, considering that they're using this already on this platform for pictures, what is it called? Instagram, right? I read somewhere that they're using this on Instagram already. So this is already live in production on Instagram, that they're testing it there. I mean, right, what other proof do you need? I mean, these websites have billions of views every day, right? So if it works for them, it's certainly going to work for your website that has 17 visits every month, right? So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I say more power to this. I mean, It's a great library. It's simple. It has a huge ecosystem, right? And yeah, what can I say? Go React team. Give us something awesome. I hope you do. Why not put everything in the Cloudflare worker instead of using Fastify and hosting it in a VPS? Because that's not what workers are for, right? You're not supposed to replace your API by putting everything in a worker, right? That would make very little sense. API is more than just serving requests. It's about access control lists. It's about so many other things, authentication and stuff like that, right? So there's far more many things that you need to do, right? Then you're not going to be connecting to your database from a Cloudflare worker, right? And stuff like that. I mean, you can, but should you? Well, that's very questionable. But yeah, I mean, let's see, right? Let's see how this goes. I mean, this is great. I hope they release this soon, and I hope we get to try it as soon as we can. There's this conference in May, and unfortunately in the US, if it was in the Europe, I would definitely go. Let's see, they're probably going to announce something mid-May. They release in May. I actually can't wait. That sounds great. Let's see. I mean, these guys are smart fellas. Dan Abramov is an awesome, kind, super smart guy. I'm sure that they've been working really hard on this. So yeah, I mean, why the hell not, right? There's a lot of these things that I don't care about. I'm not a fan of this hybrid rendering, right? Like hydrate and all of that crap. Even though it does support certain use cases, it makes things incredibly complicated. You know, kind of rendering a little bit of one in the server, a little bit one in the client. For the most part, I don't think this is the value you get out of these optimization isn't sufficient enough to justify doing it, right? Because it always complicates things on so many levels, right? So I don't really care about some of this SSR stuff that I read it actually, this whole thing. But yeah, the compiler thing, hell yeah. I mean, if it can, solve some of these little things that we have to think about, if it can remove this extra burden from our minds, I say fuck it, why not? I think you should write your app in binary for sure. I think everybody knows that performance is the most important thing today, especially CSS performance. So I would definitely draw your website in CSS first, in binary, and then that's for sure. Rebecca, my friend, good evening. All right, well, that's what it is. That's how it is. That's my take. As always, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. So let's see what happens. Who knows? I'm hopeful. I think that most of these fellas are super clever and they work hard. So yeah, let's see what happens. At the end of the day, who the hell would I be to complain about it when my contribution to it is 0? So I cannot complain about things that I haven't contributed anything to, right? Can I? Binary CSS is definitely what I would go with for sure. Lonely, that was good, man. How are you, man? How is life? It's true, Rebecca. I mean, if you don't complain about things all the time, are you even, what are you even doing, right? All right, so, okay. So we're gonna start simple. I haven't streamed in a while, in a couple of days, and we are in a phase of just making sure that the features we currently have in the network are polished and amazing and awesome and useful, so I can then try getting people there, more people there, and until then, we're not gonna be building new things because I'm sick of this stream has made me take some incredibly strange paths along the way because the way we built some things was we should have not done that, right? We should have just been more patient with certain things and just finalize them, right? So once we round up all of these features we have, and we have a bunch of them, then next big feature we start building maybe in a month or so, we're gonna do it end to end, focus only on that, and then yeah. All right, when I built this, ChatGPT didn't exist, so let's actually now go and validate. Anything wrong with this AJV schema? Let's see. All right, so let's take a look at that, because the main reason why I'm doing this now is because the employment type error now is kind of generic. So where is this employment type? Employment type. Okay, because I don't actually, it doesn't seem that I'm defining an error message. So let's say here, error message, employment type is required. Let's try that again. Wow, that's actually weird. All right, there's something wrong with this. I see. All right, master company. Okay, let's kind of start. Let's start here. So most likely, as we've changed a lot of things over the past couple of weeks, I guess we need to yeah, adjust some of these things. So let's see what's happening. So experience item, all right. Where's the form? Experience form. Form is loading. Blah blah blah. Okay, so let's go to the experience form here. Form. Input company name, employment type. Should be an error. Okay, so there's something for sure has gone wrong in this context right here. So let's see, what is it? So where's my handler? Cancel handle submit. Okay, exactly right. So let's I see what's happening. So this is no longer the case, because I see actually in fact, you know what? I'll just globally search for this crap, because shit, man, we have so many of these places. All right, because if some of you remember, right, I've actually open sourced this validation library that I use for Programmer Network. In case some of you are interested, I think I did a great job there, and I think it's an awesome library. I'm going to share it with you. And then after I've done that, and after we installed it as part of the Programmer Network front end, I don't think we've, so you can see I've built this use AJV form library, validation library for React, that you can use with your Fastify as well in isomorphic way. So you can basically give it a schema, an initial state, and some options you can find. I've documented all of it here. So it's truly an amazing thing, and I'm using this. So I built this as part of Programmer Network, and then I kind of open sourced it. So yeah, so and after we've done that, it seems that there are many places where I actually haven't kind of properly migrated, because this is no longer true, I think. Let me actually go to the form. In fact, let me actually open that. Where is the AJV use AJV form? Let me actually see what I did. I forgot. How did I build this? Let's see. I forgot. Use AJV form index. Yeah, is valid. And I think I'm actually exposing is valid as part of the state. Yeah, exactly right. And yeah, so where was this crap in here? Yeah, so that form is valid, right? Yeah. All right, cool. So I'll just globally search and replace this, because technically, yeah, this is not true, right? So instead of that, we should be saying all over the place, form is valid, right? Yeah, wow. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, it is a Boolean indeed. Hi, social platform for devs. Hi to you as well, buddy. All right, cool. So let's see now, is this still the issue? Yeah. Okay, so, well, fundamentally, almost. Okay, but yeah, we can see now that we're no longer getting an error. Should be an array of type, and yeah, we need to, let's see, a role founder. Yeah, I built this very long ago, so let's actually see if this kind of still works. Okay, so yeah, so it does, but we need to make some changes to it, right? Okay. So that's awesome, right? Okay, good. So actually, you know what? Before we proceed, let's just literally push to production this already. And let me just do one thing. Did we? You can type, oh shit, okay, what happened there? Give me a second, that was a little bit weird. You can type stack, I believe, if I recall. There's a command called stack. Numerex, my friend, good evening. How's life, man? Alright, so there's something fucked up here. Wait, that's a little bit weird. So it seems we're getting in some state that, okay, wait a minute. I'll just make sure that we didn't introduce any regression by doing what we just did, right? Friday deploy got postponed. Yeah, man, we had friends visiting since Thursday, so I took a day off today. Just been getting drunk with them past 3-4 days. And yeah, so haven't streamed in a while. Okay, so there's something wrong in here. So let's yeah, man, I had like 10 beers last night. Jesus Christ. Login. Sign in. How did I name this form? Sign in. I don't remember. Okay, let's just make sure we don't, you know, break more things than we fixed, right? Okay. All right, so let's take a look. Use HV form, correct? Yes, I like that. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, sure. Server errors. Yeah. Wait, give me 2 seconds. Let's switch to a different album, maybe. Let's. Give me 1 second. And justice for all. No, I mean, I think you guys are too sissy for this. Let's play reload, maybe. Yeah. Let's play fuel. Yeah. It's for sure regression I just introduced, so we'll see that is valid. Let's see if form is not valid. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so so it's definitely not that. Then set server errors. So the only okay, so maybe we by default by accident find the actual let's see if we found a little bug in this open source library edit. So let's see. Maybe we did. Let's see. Is dirty true? Is valid false? Let's say data is correct. Password, yes. State, incorrect email or password. I see what's happening. So yeah, I see. So that kind of sucks ass, right? So fundamentally, yeah. So no, never mind. So this is not an issue with this per se, but in this context here for the login form, so you can see what basically happened if I can just be vocal about it, right? So when I do this, right, and I now press sign in without the actual password being there, the form is gonna have is valid state set to false in my use HAV form library that I wrote. Now if I say password and hit enter, this guy still hasn't cleared its state, right? So this is still, still in a dirty state, in a false state, right? It's incorrect state. It has an error, right? You can see this is the object that I create, and then if I take a look at the state, right? So I mean, is this really a bug with the library? Not necessarily, right? Because this is an edge case with basically with the asynchronous forms, right? When I click this sign in now, I should, so basically something like, hey, whenever I change any of the fields in this context, we probably want to clear the errors, right? So essentially what I'm saying, I could say, hey, well, for any given field that's changing, I think I've exposed form.clear error or something, errors, set errors, yeah. And I think I could just I could just clear the errors, right? How did I build that? Let me open it again. Where's that library? Yeah, here. I mean, I did unit test the living crap out of this, didn't I? Yeah, I did unit test this whole thing, right? So where is it? Let's see, what do I actually expose? Give me 2 seconds. Set errors, yeah. How did I implement that? Totem, my friend, good evening. Yeah, so I could fundamentally call this set errors, right? I could call this and just set the error to nothing, to null, right? So I could basically, but I'm not actually going to do that. It's good to know, right? I'm not going to do that because I need to give myself some time to think about. I don't think this is an issue now, really. But again, if you type in the email, so yeah, we could try basically when I call this and change, right? Whatever, right? So I'm actually not going to fix that now. So I'm just going to quickly push this, just so there's a lot of this. We globally search and replace this, so it kind of makes the history a little bit messed up, right? So cool. Yeah, that's so weird, man. How did we miss this? All right, let me just. There's so many of these things. Okay. I was doing the dashboard off stream. I see. Okay. Shit. Do I want to push that now? I don't think so. No. I don't actually want to push that crap now. No. No. I don't want to push this. No. Yeah, I don't want to push these changes. This is something different, and I'm not done. So no, this I don't want to push yet. This shit. Wasn't there like unstage selected ranges? Yeah. Revert selected ranges. Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly. Because I don't want to push that crap. Course. Yeah, I don't want to push this. Yeah, I do want to commit this. Yeah, I don't want to touch this. Lecture form, yeah. Course form. Jesus Christ, man. How many things will I open? Yeah. Alrighty. Drift away, fade away. All right, I think that's it, right? Yeah, these things are something different. We need to stash this crap because I'm not going to do that today. Okay, so let's just say, where is this thing? Yeah, let's just say fix form.isValid regression, something like that. All right, cool. Let's push this to prod immediately. All right, cool. And what I'm actually going to do, I'll just stash these existing changes, right? Because let me just make sure of one thing. Yeah, exactly. So let's just stash this crap, right? Let's just git stash, and yeah, we'll not work with that, right? Okay, cool. So that's awesome. So that's a start for the stream. Okay, cool. Let's log in again, hopefully. And let's go back to experience, right? Because that was the tab that in the meanwhile, with all of these changes and stuff that got messed up. So I want to actually improve that a little bit today. Just make sure it actually works, because I will want to ask people to soon update those who are signed up to update their experiences on the platform. Cool. All right. Okay, so the deleting is not there. Editing, I suppose, is there. Company name is required. Yeah, so there's something. So we can see, yeah, the view is kind of broken, right? For sure. Because I can see, like, yeah, why is this set in the state like that? Let's see. All right, so we're going to do that now. So you can see, yeah, we can get into some very unexpected states. Okay. So let's actually go here, and let's say for today, we're going to do a few things, I suppose, right? So let's say experience a form, fix the regressions, improve the UI, and yeah, this is a little bit unclear, right? Fix the regressions, what the hell does that mean? But we'll see, and then we're gonna continue from there. Cool. Yeah, all right. Experience form. Let's see how did I do this back then. All right, so it's a simple form, yeah. And then we have, I suppose, experience item, right? Yeah. Cool. All right, cool. How is it on LinkedIn? I think I was trying to get inspired from there. How is it like, how does it look here? So there's a logo, which we will not have because we would need to use some service like Clearbit or whatever, and I'm not going to be paying for enrichment services like that. So let's fuck the logo. So there's a company, there's a time. I think, didn't I get inspired by that already? Yeah. Then you have some stack, I suppose. Yeah. Well, yeah, and then. Then there's the about, which in our context is part of the profile, right? All right. So what is the difference between what they have and us? Not much difference, right? They just flexing with a nice man. I've been there, actually. I've been to that city. I've been to the university there, and I've been to the academy there. Who is your... And I probably know people who are who are there. Anton, that's awesome, man. I had a lot of fun in Cisco Academy myself, but it's been so long. I think I have some certificates here. You can see it. Oh, you're flexing. Okay, yeah, exactly. So you can see here are some of my certificates that I got by Cisco, but this was very long ago. Very long ago. I think like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago or more. I see. Yeah, but I think if I... HP, good evening, buddy. It's going well, man. We had some friends visiting past couple of days. They've been staying at our place. They went this morning at 6 a.m. So I just, I didn't go to work, took the day off today, and haven't streamed in a while, and I'm back now, basically. What about yourself, man? How you've been yourself? So it's a company name, role. How is it? I think, yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, it's a very small town, right? It's a nice town though. It's a nice. I like it, but it's very small. Okay, so I think that's better. So we're gonna have company name, the country. Yeah. Age means nothing, my friend. Age is just a concept that human beings have, for some stupid reason, encapsulated themselves with. You know, Einstein peaked in his 30s, right? And Einstein was very bad at math in school. So just always remember that if you ever feel down, right? School is education. You know, as on my old blog says, right? It says there's no end to education. It's not that you read a book, pass an examination, and finish with education. The whole life, from the moment you're born to the moment you die, is a process of learning, right? So this is this is something that you should also remember. So just keep on cracking, man. Like that's why life is so amazing. You can learn new things every day, right? Give me 1 second. Where's my water? It's here. Just 1 second. Yeah, it's great because it's so relatable. It's so true, right? Pass exams is really how you can comply with the rules. I mean, to some degree, I agree with you. I think for me, the only thing really that university provides, the only thing that for me that university provides, right, is some sort of a sense of consistency and maturity from the people who finish it, right? It basically just means, is this person capable of focusing long term onto learning something, right? So it's more about the commitment that it proves than the intelligence, right? Because technically almost any idiot can finish university, right? That's not rocket science, because you just have to study a little bit more, right? But it's more about the commitment that it shows. Is this person capable of committing to something for a couple of years and actually pushing it all the way through? Yeah. I'm not sure what you mean their rules. We all commit to various rules every day. So are you suggesting that we should live in anarchy or something like that? Because you're committing to rules every day of your life. So what do you mean they commit to rules? You're committing every single day to some rules. When you're crossing the street, you're waiting for that green light to we need rules so the society doesn't become complete anarchy, right? So what do you mean? I'm not sure what do you mean their rules. Of course that you're committing to the rules of the organization that you're attending, unless you're suggesting that you should be creating the rules anywhere you go. Yes, exactly. Yeah, of course. You have to. Just like somebody else comes to your house, they commit to your rules, your house rules. If you say, well, we don't smoke in this family, then that means, well, please don't smoke, right? So it's fairly simple, yeah. All right. All right. So there was one. Yeah. So there's something off here with the validation. So for some reason, when we get in it, so let's fix that. Experience form. Get button labeling. Where the hell is this update? Okay. So. All right. Give me 1 second. So, okay, edited item. Handle edit click. Okay. So what do we do here? We set the edit item. We say form dot, and why do I necessarily need this? We need both of these. Set is add form opened. Yeah, there's so many of these states, man. So we have this one, then we have this set edited item. Give me a second. Give me one moment. I don't know who the hell did I enable this bot. I don't know why the bot is blocking the links. Jesus Christ, man. I might have done that. Okay. Company names required. Okay, so for some reason, so when we do this, let's actually see what the hell is happening here. So something isn't right at one point. So let's debug this crap. So bam. Company name is required. Our company name is fundamentally there. So it seems, is it our hook that failed? That's a little bit weird. So edit. Okay, cool. So we cancel it. So let's actually see what the cancel does. This has been implemented very long. Handle cancel. So we set this to false. Edit an item to null. And initial state we set to something, right? Company name to an empty string. Yeah, so this is mostly correct, right? Basically, that's how it looks like, at least, right? So if we cancel this crap, right, and try again, so we're getting company name is required, which means, so let's actually print the form. So something's wrong with the form, right? So when we click this edit, we are setting this thing here, right? All right, let's debug that. Something weird happening there. So let's just print this for a moment. All right, let's try to get into that state. So we edit, all good, right? We cancel, and then we edit again, and it's no longer good, right? So let's fix that. Let's see what's happening. So company name is there, for example, but let's see what's happening with the form. So yeah, we can see here that something's indeed off, right? You can see company name is there, but there's an error. So now we have to figure out, is this the issue with the useAGV form library that I built, or is it an issue here? Because we have this error, company names required, could be concurrency issue as well. And give me 1 second, HP. I just need to figure this out because I'm getting distracted a lot, and I'll get nothing done. Just give me 1 second. All right, so that looks good, right? So it seems to me some sort of a concurrency issue, rather, right? That the validator is maybe called before we actually, set the form to that new state. How did I? Give me 2 seconds. How did I implement that set thing that's exposed? Let's see. Const set, I suppose, or I guess it's a private thing. Yeah, here, set form state. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't actually like this. I don't like that we have this. Wait, I think we have a few of these. Set is add form open, right? So, okay. Yeah, that's because of this form. Yeah, so we need to handle its state, right? And I get that. That's. What did I change here? Give me 1 second. So there are three basically state calls here, right? So this is asynchronous, this as well, and this as well. So I suppose yeah, so we need all of these states. So it might, yeah. So that's the thing. So I remember now. Yeah, we need all of these three states, right? Because they cover like different things. Because this is the same form that's reused for both creating and editing. So this is so weird. Why is this validation failing? It makes no sense. So when we cancel, we reset this one to null, right? We set this one to initial state, and that could be an issue, right? Because it's company name is required. What the fuck, man? So it has to be with this set. I don't see anything else. All right, give me a sec. Yeah, so right now it's good, right? Yeah. We do the cancel, and then we're gonna let's try not doing this. All right, let's see what would this actually mean. So if I do this now and cancel, right, we should be all right. Yeah, I mean that seems fine now. Leo, my friend, good evening. Okay. Okay, so let's try this. Let's leave this commented out. Then we'll need to figure out what's maybe there's something wrong with the set, the way that maybe we found a bug with the use AJV form. And then let's take a look at this crap now. I'm very good, Leo. How are you, my friend? How was the concert? I was actually expecting to ask. I was expecting you so I can ask you about it. How was the concert? Oh yeah, this was the problem. Fuck my life, man. Yeah, now I remember. So we can't really do that. Ah, that sucks. That really sucks. All right. Well, we'll see about that. Should be of type array. All right, let's take a look at that now as well. Where's my, yeah. And why did I make this an array? Can I have an enum that's a string, right? The enum properties. Let's try the bot. Give me 1 second. Can that be of type string? That is one of the enum types. Nice, man. That's awesome. What was the name of the band? HP, man. I'm sorry. Thank you for coming, dude. Come by some other time, then we chat, all right? You too, buddy. You too. Cheers, man. Cheers. Okay, so we can in fact do this, right? And we in fact will do that, right? I see. I see. All right, so we are in fact using these employment types. That's why I've kind of exported them, right? So I'll just say here employment types, right? Cool. All right, let's try that again. All right, so that's good. That's fixed, right? Now we have this issue, which I have no idea actually what's happening. So I think we need to take a look at the use AGV, right? That's the only thing I can think of, right? It has to be set form state that's fucked up, right? So let's see, what do I do? Set state. Definitely do, man. Maybe even come here in Copenhagen, then we go together. Okay, so all right, I see now. I remember actually. I mean, maybe. So what if I call reset instead, right? Because it's just a lot of stuff I built myself with. I mean, all of this stuff is sometimes hard to keep track. So what if I basically, right, handle, if we go to cancel, right? What if I just say form.reset instead, right? I've started the stream by fixing some of the experience tab, Leo. Basically, yeah, we are in this mode and we will be until everything is super stable. So I'm not going to be building any new features because I want to finalize the meetups maybe this week. I mean, finalize when I say just make sure this all awesomely works, and events and meetups and members can join and stuff. Then courses is going to be kind of finalizing that, trying to see if there are any bugs with the courses. And then once we're all done with all of that stuff, then we're going to start with Noster and activity pub protocols, and we'll see. Or actually, the next thing is going to be the mobile app. We need to wrap that up as well. Just push the Android and iOS progressive web apps, right? So no new features until all of this is amazing and is absolutely stable, right? Because yeah, that's one of the mistakes we made as this whole platform was built inside of the stream, right? Is that we oftentimes started things which we didn't fully finish. We almost finished them, but we didn't really finish them. So, and that's not good. Yeah. Oh yeah, cool. Okay, wow, that's awesome. All right, well. Okay, cool. Okay, that's great. Oh wow, okay. So it is here now. Wow, that's weird. Okay, so yeah, something isn't right. Jesus Christ, man, this bot is spamming the YouTube thing so much. Wait, what the fuck is going on there? Give me 1 second, man. That's so annoying, man. Why is it spamming that crap so much, man? Unbelievable, man. Where is this crap? Jesus Christ, man. Let's try that. So annoying, man. I just realized it's spamming like shit. Alright. Okay, so that's cool, right? Let's we have a bunch of these logs. Let's just get rid of that. It's giving us a lot of noise. It's hard to debug. Okay, so that's cool. That's great. Okay, so ID 1, and it's set delete item dialog ref current show modal. Yeah. The fuck, man. All right, so this is now properly appearing again. No, this is a reload from 97. It's just not very familiar, not very too popular songs off of these albums. Let's actually play the Black Album, right? Let's play the Black Album, right? All right, cool. All right, cool. All right, well, that's not that bad. Okay, cool. What's happening here? Experience item, cool. Action items, all right, cool. Yeah, I think the only thing really that I'm actually going to do here is something like this, right? So we're gonna do, hey, do this. And yeah, we're gonna say class name flex gap 1. Right, so it's just we align these things. How does this look on mobile, if at all? How you dream, make your real. All right, cool. So let's fix that on mobile as well. Shit, that sucks ass, right? Yeah, that's actually something I like. So let's leave that as it is. Okay, cool. So let's zoom in. Add experience. So this we're gonna have to, yeah, obviously that's not too great in mobile. So let's, the hell is this? MT8. And I suppose this is here, MT8, right? Yeah. So no, not really. So let's say MT2 instead. The fuck? Yeah, I think it's this one. So let's say here MD MT8, right? And then we're gonna say yeah, MB2 and MD MB0, right? Or let's say PB. Shit, what? That's weird. Oh, I see. So there's the section. Okay, well, fuck that. So let's just yeah, do this. And then we have this button here, right? His own profile, yes. What font do you use? There you go, buddy. Let's say MB2 here. Or yeah. My pleasure, thank you. Yeah, so we're gonna do the 4, right? Obviously. Yeah, I mean, is somebody ever gonna do this, especially on mobile? Probably not, right? But let's see if we can kind of I don't like it. No, fuck my life. I don't like it at all. It sucks ass. Maybe like that on mobile, right? Or yeah, actually that's better. Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. So we'll actually do that instead. We'll just keep it on the bottom instead. And then we can say py, I don't know, 8 or something, just to add some padding. Yeah, right? Yeah. And then as you scroll all the way down, you can add more, right? Is that great? I don't fucking know. I guess it is. It's better than what it was, right? All right, cool. That's great. Okay. So let's get back to desktop, right? Yeah, okay, cool. And yeah, I guess, give me 1 second. So if I remove this thing, yeah, okay. So maybe add more instead. So if you like, right? Yeah, add more. Would you agree that add more makes sense? I think so, right? Yep. There's something wrong with this though. And so there's few more bugs that we have to fix in here. There's definitely a few more bugs that we have to fix in here. Yeah, 100%, 100%. So there's still some there are still some state issues here. So you can see if I edit this, that's great. But adding more, so that yeah, so the state doesn't actually get reset properly. That's weird. I thank you very much for the follows. Appreciate it. All right, we'll see about that. So give me a second. And then this doesn't seem to be also working properly, right? Because what I saw that I can in fact do. Let's see, what is this doing? Handle, where is this? Handle handle submit. Yeah, so I can see that this is not validating properly. Why? How come? So let's see. That makes no sense. That is quite actually scary, to be honest. That is quite scary. That is quite scary. How did I implement this library? Give me 1 second. There's something most likely wrong with the maybe there's a bug that I'll need to fix. We'll see, because where's the initial state? So this is the initial state, right? Let's let's move this crap outside in here, right? Just, we can't, right? Because it has this thing in here, right? Okay. All right, cool. No, that's not the one that I'm looking at. No, reset form. So I suppose that this thing will need to actually switch to that library now. This thing does reset the actual state, but where the hell is that crap, man? But these things actually don't reset. So where is this is valid evaluated? Validate field. No. So here, this thing, right? So this, I suppose, doesn't actually get rerun or something like that, right? Because it's memoized. I don't actually know. It should, though. Is form valid? All right, let's actually, let's see about that. I need to. So let's say programmer network, AJV, use CD, use AJV form. Yeah, let me run these tests. All right, cool. So let me just, yeah. Let's see. Do I have some demo or something? Didn't I build some demo or assets? No. Shit, man. Node modules, programmer network, use AJV form, dist, index, no, use AJV form, test, ESJS, hooks, utils. Yeah, fuck, we can't see much there, can we? Can I go to, can we, give me a second. Shit, that's not what I wanted. Experience. Can we open, come on, man, Jesus Christ. Experience, where, experience, yeah. Let's put a debug point somewhere around here, right? So we're gonna do like, blah, 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 yeah. Yeah, let's put a debug point in here, right? So let's refresh this crap. And then we're gonna watch on certain things, right? So let's move them over here. And then we're gonna clean all of these existing things, and I'm gonna watch in form and then we're gonna actually watch here on when we submit the form. So we're gonna actually let it go. And let's try saving now. So there's shit tons of re-renders happening here. So that's, and then if we do this, okay, let's see what the form is now, right? So you see it's saying that form is valid, true, right? And it's clearly not valid, right? If we take a look at the state, yeah, so it cannot, so the is valid thing basically isn't evaluated properly, right? So we need to figure that one out. Why is that basically happening, right? Yeah. HAV validate. No, that's a wrong one. Is form valid state. So this is basically. Yeah, so I can see why, right? So I see what's actually happening here. So essentially when I reset the form, I set everything to basically, I reset all the values and errors to an empty string. And then this is valid, the thing runs, right? And what does it do? Well, it essentially is valid basically means, hey, is there any error in the state? If there isn't, then it's valid, right? But that has to basically be default. That has to be reset to the default state false, because when the form loads, by default it's invalid, right? So this I think is the problem here now, is that this is just gonna say, hey, this is the dirty, sorry, this one here. So the only thing maybe implementation of this could have been better if the reset really meant just use the initial state, right? I guess this thing, right? Yeah, so maybe, yeah, let's see, are my tests going to fail if I do that? So instead of that, I just say, hey, actually, you know what? I want you to do this instead, right? All right, let's see where this test is. Where did I write this test? Use HAV form resets the form correctly. Are we winning? Yeah, I think we're always winning. I hope so. Initial data. Okay, let's see. Initial data. Use HAV form. Okay. Reset form. Here it is. Get initial. All right. What if we just pass initial here without get initial? Does that work? No. And reset, I guess when I implemented reset, it was supposed to reset the form completely. But what did I mean by that, right? Thanks, man. So I think the problem here is that reset, basically, it was rather what I meant when I implemented. And I think the resets should fundamentally reset the form to the initial state. It always has to, right? That's the only thing that makes sense, right? So yeah, so this expectation is wrong fundamentally, right? So fundamentally, right, we should expect the title to be hello here. That's basically it, right? Yeah, so that is basically it, right? So we could basically deploy this, but we need to figure out the dirty state, right? Sorry, this is valid, right? Did I test that? Is valid to be true? Yeah. So let's see. Validates the form correctly. Let's write a test for that, right? So here we should say the is valid should be false if the initial false when the initial state is set or when reset is called, right? So that's our problem in the programming network front end, right? So let's say here title is going to be foo. This should fail now, I guess. Or is it failing? No, not yet. Okay. So initial state title is foo. Let's see what do we want to do, right? Yeah, okay. So basically at this point we expect this validation is valid to be true. Ah, shit. We need this result, okay? So this should be correct, right? If I say false. But also we need to did you modify it? I can take a look. I don't honestly remember. Let's see. And then over here right now we want to say here results dot current dot reset, right? And then here we want to say expect you know, validation dot is valid to be false, right? And Samir, this is in production already. There's more than 1,000 users on Programmer Network right now. Yes, this is already live. You can just go to HTTPS programmer.network. Yeah, so you can see this is what's wrong, right? And this is what we need to fix, right? Fix, because when we reset the form, it should not be valid, and this is the problem we've been dealing here with in the front end. So this is fundamentally the issue, right? So we need to make sure that, yeah, now, okay, this is our expectation, but it's failing, so, well, yeah. So this should be true. And this basically should be false. So let's fix that, right? So when we call reset, we somehow have to ensure that is valid is in fact false, right? So let's go back to the implementation of this thing. That is the problem. And that's good. We literally found a bug in the library that I wrote. I guess you can say it's a bug, or rather the expectation that I initially had was wrong. All right, cool. Why is this crap, man, put here? I don't get it. All right, so this we need to fix. Is form valid, right? What does this mean? Is form valid if any of the keys has the error set? So basically, if there's no errors, the form is valid, right? And that is, yeah, so you can see that my expectation initially was correct. It's true that the form is valid as long as there's no errors, but also we need to make sure that the current state is not equal to initial state, right? So that also, so basically we need to ask somewhere there, we need to say somewhere basically in here, we need to say, well, if this is true and if the current state is not equal to initial state, right? let's see if 25 gold. Good evening, buddy. Actually, yeah, this is great. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is actually very good. So basically, we run the AJV validator against the current state, right? And of course, this is going to fail, right? Because current state in its shape, because the values are empty, they're not going to be correct. So this is actually correct, yeah. But actually, you know what? This is actually dumb, right? Can I just do this? And now the problem is that, yeah, this is no longer memoized, so this is valid. But fundamentally, the best question to ask here would be this, right? So we need to do some comparison between these two states, right? Okay, let's just give it to ChatGPT, right? Because I think that's pretty much what we need. I need to extend is form valid to also ensure that the current state is not equal to initial state. If it's equal, the form is invalid because initial state has all the values as empty, right? All right, let's see. Has errors. Check if any field has an error. Utilizes form dirty. Check. Blah blah blah. Okay, let's give this a shot, right? Would you double check your font? Yeah, absolutely. Just give me 2 seconds. Do you use JVT? Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. All right, and let's review what the robot did, right? So first, let's check our tests. Yeah, so this one is still failing. Check if any field has an error. Sure. I'm checking the font in a second. Give me a moment. Yeah, but that's not what I want to do. What the fuck are you talking about, man? I mean, yeah, I get it. It kind of makes sense. Yeah, the question makes sense, right? It's just our tests are still okay. Let's take a look at the font thing first, just so you don't wait. That's basically all the settings related to the fonts, right? That seems to me the only thing, pretty much, right? So if you find something there, if there's something different, it's in there, right? All right, so let's fix this test. We really need to do so because, yeah, we can't rely on this thing. So let's see, why is this still not a thing? So yeah, let's see, initial data foo. We call the reset, right? Result current reset. So it should basically reset. So, and I wonder, didn't we use this act thing in here? Give me 1 second. Maybe that's what I need to do. Yeah, so it doesn't work yet, right? Let's see. Reset form. Oh, it's because I fucked this one up, right? Yeah, I mean, what the hell was I thinking? Of course, I mean, this reset is doing nothing now, right? What did I... So when I call the reset, I set the state to this, right? But then, is this actually getting called? Where is this thing? Reset form. Is this actually being called at all? This guy. Ah, come on, man. Yeah, this guy. Is this being called? What the fuck is happening, man? So use memo is in fact called, all right? Initial state ref current. Jesus Christ, man, why is it not working? The thing is, I mean, so this must be returning wrong, I guess. Let me see. Hmm. let's say dog cow results. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you. It's really good to have you in the stream, man. Thanks a lot. And thank you for reaching out on Discord today. Whenever you have the time, man, just pass by. And have a good night, of course. What the hell? So it is valid as false, so that's correct. Yeah. So why is this? That's so weird. Sounds good, my friend. Sounds good. So is it? Oh, what an idiot, man. I'm a fucking idiot, dude. Why? Ah, dude, are you kidding me? But that's okay. No, they're all good, all good. I'm just an idiot. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, I see. Well, actually, this is good. Wait, I think I got it. Validate form, right? So we have this fella here. All right. So I see. Okay. I mean, this potentially could be another bug, right? Because this one is returning a wrong thing, right? So, okay, so I think good, this is awesome. This is perfect. No, all good. This is good to know. Because let's take a look at that. Dog, cow, yeah, validation is valid. True, data, title, foo. Okay, I see. So we did fix this flag indeed, but this guy now is returning, it's basically returning here, which means that this validate form call now is also inaccurate because of this data, right? Which essentially means that we should call the same logic in here. Let's actually see where is this is valid. Do we even need this logic? Give me a second. Because aren't we calling this AJV validate? Wait, const is valid. Yeah, so in here, so is form valid? So I suppose, right, that we need to call are you fucking kidding me, man? So now we have basically, so how is this validate form being called? So we call it with the current data. I loop to the state, I get the value, and then I basically pass these values for each input to the validate. And yeah, we don't essentially fail in here. That's the problem, right? what if we say this? Wait a minute. What if I say if is a form valid? All right. Cool. And this is now false, right? Mainly because the initial data hasn't changed yet, right? So technically, if I comment this one out, validates the form correctly. Let's see. We're now failing some other tests. Yeah, so this is correct now. So the tests were actually wrong before, right? So of course that this is wrong, right? So this should basically, if I change this to foo, then the form, yeah, there we go, right? So you can see that even with having unit tests that actually pass, right? Yeah, it doesn't mean that your implementation is correct, right? So my expectations with just some of these tiny things were actually wrong, right? Okay, so this is the initial data. We run the validate, and if we comment this out, well, nothing has changed yet. So basically, yeah, exactly. So this is yeah, that's correct. So wait, so we have that. I mean, even if I remove this now, basically, it should still pass, right? Yeah. Okay. So well, this is a little bit scary now. No, actually, no. Yeah, so this is now wrong, right? But I suppose here, if we have min length 3, this should now fail. No, yeah, so we didn't fix it. Fuck. No, actually, we did. No, all good, all good. That's actually good. But no, it's not good. So now this should actually, the valid should be, so this test should now fail, actually. Because this has changed indeed. So we did say result set current title to bar. So yeah, it should be true now. So no, we didn't actually fix this. So this is our initial state. We pass it here. We call the validate. Validation is valid. So yeah, so still we have basically this thing. Yeah, but that's what, because we're not calling validate again, right? That is the problem, right? Of course that this is, so this has now the reference to the old object, right? So basically what we need to do is this, right? And we need to call it again, right? In fact, right, we'll just do something like, okay, so we are in fact good, right? If I comment this out, it should fail. Okay, good. So we are in fact good. So the tests are actually solving the problem. That's awesome. So what I'm actually going to do, just for the sake of this example, yeah, actually, so let me just undo this a little bit so I improve this test, because right now it's a little bit confusing, right? Oops. All right, so we have the validation thing here. So I'll just, instead of, I'm not gonna reference this in a variable. Just do this. And we're gonna do this, right? Okay, cool. So let's see. So at this point, we haven't changed the state, so valid should be false. We set the bar to something else. And then we reset, right? So basically here, it should be true. And then we reset it and it should be false again, right? So this is a good test now, right? So we start with the initial state of the hook. We validate here. We expect it to be false because the initial state hasn't changed. Then we change the state. We expect it to be true. Then we call the reset function. And then we expect is valid to be false again. So that is actually awesome. Yeah, that's what we wanted, right? And that's what we achieved pretty much. Yes. Okay, that's great. Okay, let's publish this. Shit, did I set up? How did I publish this? Do I have a CI for this, or was I pushing this manually to npm? Give me 1 second. AJV use AJV form. Yeah, I don't think I have any CI for this, do I? Lint and test only. Okay. But I guess I need to deploy this manually to npm. I guess that's what I was doing. So let's bump to 14. Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. There is one problem with this though, unfortunately, right? Is that shit. I actually would need to put this beneath here, I suppose, right? Because I want these validators, the real ones, to actually run first. All right, good. Okay, that's great. Okay, good. What would we call this? Let's actually let the AI do it. Oh, what a useless fucking commit message, man. I mean, AI is even more useless than I am. Fix is valid state expression. Okay, cool. So we're gonna push that to master. Shit. Let me go to npm. Use AJV form here. Here it is. 2 months ago, last published. Yeah. Publish. Yeah. So shit. What is this? Can I do this? One-time password. Jesus Christ, man. Give me 1 second. Authenticator. npm 765570. And I think we did actually, in fact, publish it now. Let's refresh. No, not really. I don't see the version being bumped here, so yeah, actually we did in fact do that. The only shitty thing though is, fuck, I forgot about one thing. Give me a second. Let's take a look at the code. I don't remember if yeah, man, fuck. I think we forgot to build this. I think since so for Yale we have a CI setup. I think here I was supposed to build, right? Yeah, that kind of sucks ass, man. I think I was supposed to build, right? Yeah. So we'll need to do that again. So I need to bump this version again. And then we need to build and publish again. So that's the problem. I need to copy the CI GitHub Actions config from some of these other libraries we open sourced, and then just yeah, do it here as well. So I'm gonna do this. I'll push it there, and then I'll pm build. Great. And yeah, and now I need to publish again, unfortunately. So I'm gonna say pnpm publish. Authenticate your account. What the fuck? Why is it asking me to authenticate again? Do not challenge npm publish one-time password. All right, cool. All right, let's see that it actually published or not. All right, it did. Okay, cool. Okay, that's great. So let's now go here, use a JV form in our programming network frontend, and hopefully let's hope that this is gonna fix it. pnpmi. Cool. All right, going back to the front end, let's remove these breakpoints that we have. So let's just nuke them all. Let's stop execution of this crap. And yeah, let's see now. So editing works, but adding should now fail. And it actually does indeed fail. Now, shit, give me a second. So now in fact it will fail, but yeah, so there's fuck. I mean, we did technically fix it, but it's not ideal, unfortunately. And it's not ideal because the validator that needs to be called first doesn't seem to be properly doing things, right? So this fella here seems to not be being called, and then this one is being called, but this returns no data. So in simple words, right, when I submit this now, we should be actually getting the errors below these fields, but we actually don't, right? We could try one thing, but that kind of sucks ass. And that is, we could try calling the validate in there, but then where's shit, man, I know what's, yeah, dude, no, it's actually me being an idiot indeed. No, yeah, actually no, I know, now I remember. Now I actually remember, right? Yeah. What an idiot. Okay. All right, no, it's all fine, right? It's just that we need to call this validate to validate all the fields, right? Jesus Christ. Okay. No, I mean it's fine, right? It's just a little bit funny because this fundamentally wasn't the problem at all. I basically just wanted to always the thing is the way that I built this library, right, is that you need to call the validate form in order to run the AJV validator, because this validate comes from the AJV library, right? And then it's gonna, create all of the errors as I built it. This AJV validate, right? It compiles, so you give it a schema, and then it compiles the errors against your schema, and so you have the input in one end, your schema, and then it says, hey, does these inputs, these values confine to this schema, right? And I can see what I was trying to do in programming network is just trying to depend always on this is valid instead of needing to call valid. We can't really do that. We could have some sort of a getter, right? So this could have been a getter function, right? Like something like get, is valid. That would essentially call, so that would have been different. So that kind of sucks ass, right? So for the form submission, we really need to so it's fine. It's just now the funny thing is that we need to revert one of the previous commits, right? That's kind of the funny thing, right? So if I go to I just forgot. That's all. So we actually need to go to the commits, and 1 hour ago, yeah. Jesus Christ, man, how did that get? Fucking merge conflict. Are you kidding me, man? All right. What an evil laugh. All right. Well, that's what it is, man. That's how it is. That fucking sucks, but that's how it is. Okay. Well, so that should kind of, I guess, be cool. Now, let's see. Let's let's close this. Well, actually, that's good. We fixed one thing in that open source thing, so that's still great, right? Because that was technically not accurate. So that was actually worth it. All right, cool. Let's push it to production. This fucking sucks. So one of the worst things with AJV, right, or with the valid open spec JSON standard is that let's see if ChatGPT can quickly fix this. How can we add error message for this case, because that gets painful then with the nested schemas, right? That gets incredibly annoying, because we have a nested AJB schema here fundamentally, right? You can see we have, and this is always a bad kind of, it's always kind of shitty mixing up your declarations like this with logic, right? Because fundamentally here we have conditional schema. We're saying, hey, and this mostly belongs in the business logic rather than the schema, but this is very convenient. We're saying, hey, if and date is not there, then type string format date min length is required, otherwise type string. That this is essentially done for, if this is checked, then you can see this is not needed, right? So that's how you can describe it here. You know, if end date is not there, then this, otherwise string, meaning use this string here, right? And I'm just asking ChatGPT, hey, how can I oh my fucking lord, man. Ouch. Can I just do that? Not really. Must match then schema. Jesus Christ. I'm just gonna try a couple of things. And what did ChatGPT tell us? This is for the end date, not employment type. AC/DC is very old, yes, from like 70s. Yeah. ChatGPT unfortunately is losing the context a little bit, and it's kind of getting sad sometimes. This is my schema. I have already shared it with you. Why are you missing the context? Oh, the Unforgiven. Sure. Let's go with that. Wow, okay. That's so weird, man. I mean, we can try this. I've wrote so many of these schemas. I've never seen this. I've never seen this crap, right? So I need to, this fucking bot is annoying, man. He probably wanted to share some useful link, right? But then this bot farted out. Yeah, so I've never seen this syntax, right? So I don't think this is correct. Error messages. That's probably what this thing is telling us, right? Let's see. Yeah, exactly. So this is basically bot hallucinating. This is, I already, before it failed, said that this is not a correct thing. So yeah, so it's a little bit hallucinating, so it's useless basically for this issue. So let's solve it ourselves. What can we do, right? For sure, right, we don't want to say must match then schema, right? That's pretty terrible, right? I don't know if it would be correct to put an error message in here. I don't think so, but let's try. So yeah, this technically, this would be my assumption, right? So this should be kind of correct, right? So not I'll just try a couple of things because unfortunately it's very hard. We'll take a look at the official documentation, right, of AJV, right? Actually, you know what? AJV errors, GitHub. Let's go to GitHub, right? Let's go to. Is it better AJV errors? How? Let me go to my library to use AJV form. Let's go to package.json. Come on, dude. Jesus Christ, man. AJV errors, yes. So let's go to AJV errors, GitHub, right? And let's take a look either at the source code or is it this one? Ah, I see. So I've never actually seen this. This is interesting. This interests me. This interests me. This part here. Right. So let's take a look at that. That's very interesting. Actually, haven't. I wasn't aware of. Not true. All right. See. Interesting. Give me 1 second. Let's play let's play album, right? Yeah. So it's not this thing for sure. Okay. I'll just try a couple of random things because this is nowhere documented, unfortunately. Which the only next thing we can do is try reading unit tests. Actually, in fact, I might just as well try doing that. Where is this crap? Let's just see if they actually have any tests for this. src spec. Let's see. Actually, object index cslint options string object. So I don't think that they actually have any examples of nested schemas as we do, right? So that is a little bit problematic then, because right, so that is a little bit problematic. So at least not in here. Let's try somewhere else. Options. Nope. Let's go to string. Nope. Yeah, that sucks ass, man. Conditional. Nope. So the question then is, I guess next thing would be reading the source code of this crap, right? Is this the whole library? I guess this is some sort of recursion here. Yeah, no chance I can decipher this now. Fuck my life. But that sucks ass, doesn't it? Because there has to be a way to change this, right? There has to be a way to change this. Should be in date format. That also kind of sucks, right? Type format. Yeah, okay, so this one we could technically. Start date is required, right? Yeah. But the end date is the problem, right? Because of this thing, right? So it's kind of, it doesn't give a crap about these values, right? I'll just copy paste this aggressively thing very randomly and see if it does anything. No, so it basically neglects all of that. So the if and then is practically doing nothing. What if we do it here? Nope. All right, let's try one thing. Fuck, but then we need to do that in You know what? I actually think that this might be a problem with the useAgv thing that we have, right? Most likely, actually, because maybe our library is not supporting these, right? Let's try that. Let's write a new test somewhere. And yeah, let's give it a nested schema, right? Should show proper error messages for conditional schema. And then what we are actually going to do, we're literally going to go we're going to literally take this this schema here that we're using in Programmer Network, and we're going to give it here, right? Schema title string, fuck that. So let's just narrow it down to minimum fields. So we're going to have end date, start date. We're going to get rid of all of the other stuff, right? So we're only going to have a start date, end date. And then we're going to get rid of this crap. Yep. Then we're going to go here. Then we're going to get over here, I suppose. Then we're going to say start date string and end date string. All right, cool. Gonna run the tests, and this is obviously gonna fail, and that's expected. I'm gonna minimize this crap, and let's kind of write these things, and let's see what it actually does, right? So so here we're gonna have start date set to whatever, and date yeah, set to whatever, right? Then I'm gonna get rid of all of this. I'm actually not gonna run any tests there, so I'm just gonna print the result. Thank you very much for the follows, appreciate it. And then I'm gonna say that current then I'm gonna call the validate. No, shit, that's the wrong repository. So I'm actually gonna call result dot current dot validate, right? Just so we kick in the should be in date format. Okay. And let's try to give it a date format that's kind of valid here. So I'm actually going to go to the front end project. I don't actually know what does it expect. Can I just say here new date? Does it take? Let's okay. Should be of type string to date string. So start date, end date, if not const, then type string, min length 1. Yeah, so why is this not failing? Because I guess here we have to, is it like all? No. So that's good. Yeah, it's just why is this asshole not failing? Well, actually, that's what I want to test, right? So maybe it is, and maybe we're hiding these errors. So where do I have the validate form here, right? So this is the stuff that I actually want to print. This is what I care about. These are the raw errors. So yeah, this is what I care about. So HAV val errors, start date, format date must match format date. Yeah, okay. And what it is that this input is actually taking, give me a second. So if I go to this project here, we go to the form experience form, I suppose. So it takes literally a string like this. That's a little bit weird. Okay, let's see if that's what, if that it is that it wants. Start date. Okay, so this is the format it wants. Let's try. The fuck is going on? What? That makes no sense. It seems some other test is failing now. What? All right, never mind. Okay. All right, so yeah, so this is basically not correct, right? So end date, if not const this, then else type string. Thank you very much for the follows. Instance path, title, properties, title, min length. Iron Maiden, exactly. Just give me 2 seconds, fellas. Just 1 moment. All right, cool. So, all right, so there's something wrong with this. I mean, I would expect this to also fail this test, and unfortunately it doesn't. So yeah, so this should have an error basically, but it doesn't. So does that mean that, yeah, I'm not actually quite sure why. Start date is this, and date is conditional. So if not constant, so if it's not a string basically of some, or if it's not empty in this case, let's actually try just to see if we can even trigger this to fail. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this is it. Must match then schema. Yeah, okay, here it is. Here it is. So this is basically what we need to support in, so this is what my library doesn't support, right? So use AJV form doesn't really support, doesn't support these things, right? So this is why even if it fails in AJV now, it's not gonna basically do anything, right? So somehow somewhere here, in my get errors utility that I wrote, I would need to support stuff like this, right? So I'm sure that I'm already using an instance path here, right? For getting the, so I can see here in get field name most likely. So basically I'm gonna get the instance path of something, but we are basically not, interesting, okay. Give me one sec. There we go. Haha, asshole. All right, I get it. I actually got it from I had to get it from here, basically. That's so weird, man. And actually, it's not my mistake, so my library does that well. It's just, it's so weird, basically. So, is there something to do? No, not really. This is more of a, yeah. I'll just discard these changes. Okay, so that's good. What a bummer. All right, cool. Well, that's success, but that's what it is. That's what it is. Description is not required. Did I do that explicitly? Did I conditionally decide to do that is the question. It is required here though. Interesting. Okay. So why does that? Okay, I mean, okay, that's yeah, sure. So description is technically required, and one of the shitty things with the JSON schema is that required doesn't mean, it just means that the field, the property in the object should be there. It doesn't mean that the value of the field should be a truthy value. So that's one of the things that suck with it, right? That's what it is. Okay, good. So min length error message. Description is required, yeah. So that's a little bit weird that it doesn't validate it. Let's actually go to description. Ah, it's tip tab. Okay. Oh, all right, shit. Whew. Yeah, crap. Let me go to one of the libraries that I built, some other library where we had code for that. Give me 1 second. How did I call that? Programmer Network AJV. Yes. That's all of that is done. All of that is done. I built all of these things are done, and all of these libraries are open source. You can go to Programmer Network GitHub and find them all. All of these security things are done long ago, but you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. Keywords. I think I literally built has text for tip tap. I think this is a tip taps. The thing is, the issue, right, is just for your information, is that this is a tip tap editor, right? So this is a rich text editor component that I built on top of tip tap, right, of this thing. And we cannot do min length on it is because the content inside it is a JSON, it's a stringified JSON object that represents the tip tap editor state, right? At one point in time, long ago, I think that I did in fact build a validator for tip tap, so to actually loop through all of these nested objects recursively in arrays and then sum up the length of the total string and then see, right? And I thought that it was this one. Contains YouTube video. TipTap has text. Yeah, exactly, right? TipTap utils has text. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure, right? I'm sure of that. And I think that we're already using TipTap utils dot has. All right, so, well, you know what? We're not gonna die over that hill right now, but that's good to know. So I'll need to, did I or did I not implement these custom keywords? Actually, yeah, I am importing these keywords from, I think in Programmer Network project somewhere. I know that I didn't make them part of the actual use AJV library because that would make no sense. It would couple people with too many of my own custom validators. But yeah, I can actually see them here. So technically, we should be able to go to description somewhere. No, actually, sorry, in fact, over here and use the validator called has text, right? I think so. So I should be able to say has text true, right? That's my own custom. That's the beauty of AJV, right? And why I've used it. Well, also why Fastify uses it as a default. It's because it's truly amazing. Okay, so it's probably saying, hey, there's no such validator, bro, called has text. Yeah, unknown keywords. So didn't I export that keyword from here? Keywords. Yeah, it actually is in it's called has text camel case like that. Okay, that's success. We should probably actually update that, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, there we go. The value must contain text. Okay, I remember now. Okay. Well, yeah, let me actually just update that name because that name now, there's a slight discrepancy with the name. So I'm just gonna Programmer Network is this HJV. Yeah. Has text. And then we're gonna have to, shit, there's so many unit tests. Jesus Christ. I'll just need to update them. Is secured string. So if we go to keywords has text, yeah, so this fella here, I'll just rename it to has/text because I named Seaplane, my friend, good evening. Actually, in fact, can I just globally search and replace? Let's just say has-text, right? Now we have to run unit tests for this library, right? So where is this? cd programmer network kjv. Fuck. I don't remember how I wrote this test. Yeah, okay. pm test, I suppose. Yeah, exactly. No, all good. I mean, it's of course it fails, right? Because we still have has text thing all over the place, right? All right, there's one more failing somewhere. In this room, been in this place. Something vivid comes again into my mind. Alright, so all the tests are passing again. Alright, cool. Yeah, hopefully this guy can now... Exactly, okay, great. You just push this, and I'm gonna just reinstall it because I think I literally am installing it in a front-end project in Programmer Network, literally from my GitHub directly, right? Yeah, here it is, right? So I'll just get rid of this crap and then reinstall it. So I'll just say npm remove Programmer Network AJV. Ah, shit, we're in the wrong place. Remove. Alright, and then I'll just pm-i and install it again from GitHub. Alright, beautiful. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Well, now has text should have the same casing as secure string and all of my other custom validators, right? So that should now potentially work. Ouch. No, actually, it does work because this does indeed have text. The value must contain text. All right, that's good. That is great. Give me 1 second, though. This is now a problem with our Yale library, right? Is that I can see a slight discrepancy with the error component when it's bound to tip-tap and then when it's bound to all of the other inputs. I think it's either line height or some other crap. No, it's actually gap 1. So there's a gap 1 in here, but there actually is no gap in here when it comes to this fella, right? Yeah. All right, let's now open our Yale library, right? And we need to fix that as well. Network Louis GUI, yeah. So I'm gonna go to tip-tap. And I'm going to scroll a little bit down. I don't remember where I did this. Yeah, it's right over here, right? Okay, and what do we have? We have a toolbar. And technically, we do have a padding here, so this should be the same, but it's actually not. That's the problem. Let me actually run this crap. So Programmer Network Louis GUI. Let's say nvm use. Let's run the storybook. Let's fix it in the storybook, and then we're gonna deploy the new version to npm. So let's go to tip-tap here. The fuck, man, come on, I just want to close you. Okay. Ah, crap, okay. let's go over here and let's just say here cool, and let's just give it a cool error, just so we can see it. Right here it is. So I guess we only want to say here, does this take a class name? Did I make it so? Yes, MB margin top 1, right? Or padding top 1. Nah, not really. No, fuck, that sucks. Okay. So what do we have? We have, this is the wrapper. Then we have these fellas over here, contents. Then we have, okay, I see. So maybe we can improve that structure slightly bit. So we have the input header. And if I go open some other inputs, my text, how did I call it? Text input, or if I go to inputs and then inputs, yeah. How did I implement this guy? So we have an input header here. And then we have, I see, okay, cool. There we go, right? So I think that technically, if I search for input, well, we're not going to be able to see it here, but I think that's fine. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, that's what it is. Yeah. Wow, okay. Cool, okay. We need to bump this version to 92. Yeah, let's push this fella. Let's generate a message. Update package version, add error handle. That's a completely inaccurate and wrong commit message by the AI, but that's what it is. I don't care. All right, cool. So let's push this to master, and we have to create a new tag, right? Yeah, so we're gonna create a new tag. Then we're gonna push to that new tag. And yeah, then we're gonna go to GitHub and wait for that to deploy to npm, because for this one I did create the whole CI pipeline, right? Here it is. If you're wondering, this is basically an open source. This is my component library, so I'm not using any third-party libraries. This is the one that I made for programmer networks. If you want to take a look at it, there's a lot of awesome components in there, so you can at least get inspired. And you can also go to the storybook, which is basically linked right here. You can just click on this link. It's going to then take you to, and yeah, every time we push, it's going to deploy the new storybook as well. You can actually take a look at the actions in here. All right, cool. So let's wait for that. I think that's okay. Now I can just close a bunch of this crap, so we can leave that. Yeah, so we can close this as well. We can close this as well. Did we actually deploy these new changes to production? Yeah, I think we did. Let me actually just take a look at the Cloudflare. Wow, okay. Weird. Cool. Try that again. Yeah, alright, so we did deploy these things. That's super. Alright, this guy has passed linting. It's just published to Storybook, to GitHub Pages, I guess. And then let's wait for this to get deployed. Then we'll install it in here. Where's Yale? It's in here, so it's going to be 92. And yeah. What have we done? I am the only one. I am the chosen one. All right, great. I'll bet him. Good evening, buddy. Good to see you. Thank you for coming, man. Not much, man. Just haven't streamed in a couple of days. Me and my wife and my kid, we had some guests for 3-4 days. So they left this morning. And yeah, I've been drinking every night, basically. So what about yourself, my friend? How is life serving you? How is life serving you? Okay, that's good. All right, cool. I got this MongoDB bottle a couple of months ago, or if you remember, guys, I was at in Stockholm at the Google conference. Then I met these fellas from MongoDB. They were spamming me. They were they were chasing me because I work in a company that they wanted to sell to. So they were chasing me, like, and then I'm like, yeah, give me some of this crap, right? Oh, because of the console, yeah. They gave me the socks. I have a pair of socks. They gave me the bottle and shit like that, yeah. Popular in Twitch. I don't think I'll ever gonna be popular in Twitch. No, they didn't seek for me because of Twitch, but because of the company that where I work. I don't think I'll ever be popular in Twitch. To be popular in Twitch, you know, you have to grind, you have to stream, you have to be engaged with the community. And you know that I don't give a shit about any of that. So I don't think that's gonna happen ever. You know, you have to kind of invent new content and talk about something fun. Yeah. Thanks, but no thanks. Not gonna happen here. I'm here to build this platform, not to entertain you guys. Okay, cancel. All right, great. So this is good now. That's great. Does it look good? That's everything is relative, right? As could we find some inspiration? I mean, if I go to LinkedIn again, LinkedIn is not a great inspiration, is it? Right? So LinkedIn kind of sucks ass, right? So I mean, beating this thing isn't hard, right? So this is Behance.net. What is that, man? So much inspiration. Oh, yeah. Well, help me, man. You've been watching my fucking stream for a year, man. You're just sitting there watching popcorn. Just help me, dude. Jesus Christ, man. Experience page. Wow, I'm being so inspired as we speak. It's crazy, man. This inspiration has to stop. It's wow. Stop. I'm getting inspired. Oh no. Oh, stop this inspiration. It's who no, oh no, getting inspired. Oh man. I'm so inspired right now. It's crazy, man. Well, find it now for me. If I'm such a bad prompter, Leo, prove that. Prove that to me. Say, Alex, you suck, man. Show me. I always laugh at these generic CV templates. You know, it's like a classical, like just pixel perfect, put enough of characters and everything so it fits on one page. It's like, right. Tailwind CSS experience page. Huh. Yeah, completely getting inspired, mega inspired. Yeah, well, yeah, you know, that's what it is. I mean, if we look at my LinkedIn, right? Like, this is not terrible, right? So what we're missing here is the horizontal roll, right? So that's what we can add, right? So you can see as I scroll, kind of you can differentiate them, right, a bit, right? So I think and then they have this show all experiences, right? Then you can kind of check all of this crap, right? Is that terrible? I don't think so. Is it great? Does it have to be that great, right? Who cares? So let's add some separator there. Right? I mean, what can you do? Ah, shit. That's unfortunate. Alright, cool. Let's smack this key so this reconciliation algorithm doesn't fart out on us. Yeah. Yeah. No, almost. Almost. Almost, but no. Exactly. All right, let's see what it did. So it's gonna add these. Yeah, cool. What is this crap? This is Louis Gui. Let's close that. I don't think we're gonna be making any. And yeah, this obviously is gonna have to be like border, and then text primary border primary text color, and then I think I can do like /40 or something, right? Then I implement that opacity thing, right? 10. Can I not? I think I can, right? Wait, let's try 90. Yes, beautiful. Of course I can. Of course I can. So I'm going to say like 40. And then let me just update the theme. So I'm just going to go to my profile, to my UI setting, and I'm going to just change the, no, reset. I'm just going to change the background to white, right? Just for a moment. Shit, white. What the fuck is happening? Something's farting out. Okay. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's not completely disgusting. Okay, so it is following the, give me a second. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just why is this fella farting out? That's quite scary, actually. What? Ooh, okay, so we have, I see, okay, sure, no problem. Good to know. I'll manually, by my own choice, update these and not global search and replace, because I need to make sure this cannot fart out. Add border. Yeah, let's try, man. Let's try. Okay, perfect. That's great. All right, let's just go and reset to default theme. But actually, let me just give this a shot again. Wait, so where's my profile experience? Yeah, that's LinkedIn, like LinkedIn, basically, pretty much, right? Okay, cool. That's weird. Okay, reset, save. Okay, did we like find some? Yeah, okay, that's weird edge case that we need to. Okay, going back to profile. and experience. Yeah, we need a little bit more styling in here, obviously, right? Because yeah, we need these gaps to be okay. Cool, no worries. Lecture form, experience item. Yeah, so let's actually close a bunch of this crap because we don't need it. Interesting. I see. Okay. And yeah, let's obviously take a look at it at mobile, right? Yeah, I mean, looks great if you ask me. It's not terrible at all, actually. Yeah, that is acceptable. It's for sure acceptable. Cool, man. Pretty cool. Now let's differentiate the content piece from this, right? So we would need some separator of this kind of, how would you call this? This is the role and the date and the country, right? I mean, look, I think I'm merely mimicking Neo, my friend. Good evening. How you doing? I'm trying to mimic LinkedIn, right? Because again, you know, like if I take piece of my experience here, right? So if we do this, and then if we go here, right? Company, role, date, location, right? So I'm just trying not to be too clever with it, right? So I don't think that's bad, to be honest, right? Yeah, it is, but I agree with the structure, right? It's very difficult to structure this differently. I mean, we could reorder certain things like the role and all of that stuff. But so let's think about it logically as a user. We need to be the user always, right? Hey, or actually the recruiter in this case, because soon, hopefully sometimes in the future, if I manage to pull some recruiters to this website, what it is that they want to know, or actually anybody. Okay, Alex has worked at the company X as this role at this date in this country, right? So if you kind of write that down, you know, Leo worked at X as a Y for Z time in Denmark, right? So I think this is if you read it as a sentence rather than as a piece of UI, it kind of makes sense, right? You worked here as this role, this date in this country, right? So it's not a terrible way to look at it. Now, visual representation of it, yeah, I mean, is it already good enough? Maybe, maybe not. I don't actually know, but let's figure it out. Let's take a look at our existing icons in Yale. Which icons do we have? I don't think that I have any country icon. But let's see what it is that we have. If not, we'll just smack it and make it part of of Yale, right? And actually, while we're at it, did I in fact install the new version of Yale? I'm sorry, I need to check that. And then we can maybe add that icon. Yale 92, yeah. Yeah, 92, sure. 92, okay, great. So it is updated. It's just a... okay, let's see which icons I have. I think I have a globe icon. Icon globe, yeah. Maybe that could do, right? So let's give it a shot. Let's import our own icon component that takes an icon name as a prop. And we're going to say here icon globe. I'm going to say class name width of 6 or whatever crap like that, right? Out of the silent planet, dreams of desolation. Yale is my own, our own, if I may, component library. It's this whole UI, I built my own. All the libraries are pretty much built by me. So validation and it's good for me. It's good. It's good for me because I built it, so I know it inside out. So and I extend it when I want it, right? So for me, it's good. For you, well, I cannot answer that on your behalf. You would have to use it to see it. Is it good as some other library that's meant to solve all problems? Probably not. Probably not. But this is not meant to solve all the problems and come up with 5 million different components. It's more about... I don't think we need icons, Leo. I don't personally think, but because then we need all icons, right? We cannot just have a globe. We need I mean, Yale is very simple. So the main selling point of this library that I built, right, is that it's incredibly simple. It's just plain Tailwind, right, and classes and stuff like that, right? So fundamentally, the selling point of it ever, and then of course there's some pretty awesome components in there that I mean, but it's not full-fledged component library with 600 components because I'm not gonna build components just so they're in vacuum unused, right? When you need a component, you write one or you install a library if it makes sense for that use case. Sometimes it makes sense to do one thing and sometimes it makes sense to do another thing, right? So depending on the use case, sometimes it's better to install it if it's too complex, you know. Sometimes it's better to build it yourself. No, I'm not gonna add this icon because it sucks ass. Okay. All right. Well, this is already way better, and well, it's not bugged anymore as it was. So I think let's push it already. There's nothing to wait for, because if you have code that's already better than what's online, well, then you want to push it, right? If you want to improve it more, that's cool, do it, but don't let that amazing code stay on your computer. You know, it serves nobody. Comment section, yes. Out of the silent planet we are. All right, cool. Git push. Somebody tell me how long am I streaming for? Because I finally created this calendar that I want to follow. So where can I check my schedule? Fucking Twitch, man. Where can I check my schedule? Wasn't there like a schedule somewhere? Jesus Christ, man. For how long am I supposed to stream today? I don't know. Schedule. Where is the schedule, dude? It's under subs. Wait, didn't I post it? I don't know how long should I stream today. Wait. If I go to schedule here, schedule. Until... No? Is it this? So I think I'm supposed to stop now, am I? Or is it until 10 or... We got 30 minutes. All right. I need to stick to that. Okay, cool. All right, great. Click on it. Okay, wait. Let me do that again. Click on it. Oh, interesting. Ah, okay. I see. I did start a little bit earlier today. Okay, cool. Thanks. I mean, yeah, I mostly did it right for myself, not for you guys, I must admit. I mean, I mostly care about myself in that context, right? It's more, well, it's good for you guys to know, sure. But it's more about me, you know, not stressing myself with this. But it's for the project, right? Because I have few days when I don't stream. I'm not gonna stream every day. I'm not crazy, right? So I think it's good for you guys as well to know, right? If you want to watch, of course. So you can see tomorrow I'm not gonna stream. Then I'm gonna stream for 2 days. Then I'm not gonna stream, and then I'm gonna stream the weekends in the morning. I'm looking forward to this. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna stream on Saturdays and Sundays from 9:30 to 1:30, right? So I can be with my wife and kid for the rest of the day. So I'm gonna wake up early, you know. Matty, my good friend, hi there. So yeah, that's at least some plan, right? And I think Leo, you can also be there because that's not a bad time in Finland either, right? So you know. All right. So did we push this? Matty, my friend, how are you doing? How is life? Cloudflare pages. Oh man, we listened to the whole Brave New Worlds. And you guys managed. I'm proud of you. I'm good, man. We had some friends visiting since Thursday. They left home this morning, and I took the day off today because I was exhausted. So yeah, going to work tomorrow. Haven't streamed in a couple of days, and yeah, happy to be hanging with you guys now. More or less, that sums it up. And I also created that schedule so you guys can also know when I'm streaming, because I didn't have any schedule. It was just random. Cloudflare pages. Cloudflare pages. Okay, so it is deployed. It is online now. Let's go to production programmer.network profile experience. Another name. Let me just test it in productions. Beautiful. 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 Cool. All right. I'll actually, in fact, update this because I'm planning to use this as my CV anyway, because now as things are getting stable to the maximum extent, I think I'll definitely is going to be my CV for sure. If I need a CV, I don't think so, but I'll be able to basically present. This was the core of Programmer Network initially, is that you have your own centralized profile where you can really represent all of the things you do, your experience, your repositories, the meetups you're part of, and then your engagement in the community. Are you writing the blogs, blah, blah, blah. So that's awesome. And I think if you guys remember, a year ago, we even built that CV maker that I paused that project because, yeah, I don't know, because of the stream. Stream is a different beast, and this whole product is built inside of the stream, right? So, but yeah, I think it's gonna, yeah. In a couple of months, I think people will feel proud to share their profile on Programmer Network. That's my goal, right? And then, of course, to use all of the other features. At one point, Leo, I put a button here somewhere. There was a CV button here where you could. I never finalized it. That's the problem. The idea was that you can. The idea is that you generate a CV PDF out of your Programmer Network profile, right? And you will be able. We're gonna have to go back to that at one point, right? Because I know that a lot of people even pay some of these tools online, you know, just to have a CV, right? So the idea is that, you know, when you fill in your profile, you know, you can export your CV, right? We did that before, but unfortunately, never materialized fully because, we started something else. So that's one of the things that we will never do again. once we round up and finish this with this kind of tech depth sessions, we'll start the feature and fully finalize it. Because you know how it is with the stream. You start something, then some of you guys share something, blah blah blah, right? Somebody asking about some of the other libraries. I mean, I have some libraries that I built outside of the context, the programmer network, and then I have some that are like Yale. So this and this and this, these are built for as part of programmer network. So this is a Fastify. So this is the right. This is basically a nodejs library that we built for programmer network, but then open sourced it. Then the Yale that you saw. Then useAGB form was also built here. But then there's a bunch of other things that I think many years ago I built. Not all of them are on GitHub. There's IPC that I built like 5-6 years ago. Yeah, this is when I worked with electron.js. This was, yeah, as you can see, 6 years ago. Electron.js uses this protocol called IPC, Inter-Process Communication Protocol, right? And basically, I built this library that improved the usage of the protocol, because the problem with ICP, and it's quite a shitty protocol in the sense of developer experience, right? The problem with IPC is that it's basically some sort of an event-based, it's like an event emitter, but you send a message on one channel, and then you get a message in another channel, right? So that was really shitty, right? So I built a library like 6 years ago where you make it feel that you're getting the message back on the same channel, right? So this was when I worked with Electron. I don't know if Electron.js is still using IPC. I haven't built an Electron app since I was at Airtame, basically since 6-7 years ago, right? But I would expect that they're still using IPC, right? Yeah, they're still using IPC. Matty, I would be very happy to do some of that, man. I mean, I'm not very consistent with this stream, so, we're not chasing for amount of people and stuff. But if there would be people that are interested, why not? That would be. I mean, even this little money we make on Twitch, I don't give a crap about it. I'm very happy to spend it on you guys. If we could organize some hackathon or whatever, and people just earn this merch, I think that would be cool, right? Because fundamentally, I mean, it's who cares? Yeah, and then of course, I think for the programmer network libraries, you can find them all here, right? So not all of them are open source, right? But there's a lot of stuff in there. Not a lot of stuff. No, not really, not a lot of stuff. But there's some stuff in there. There's some stuff in there. I actually recently built this, but I'm not using it. Yeah, I built this for myself, but I'm not using it actually. SVG crop. This library, basically, I built what this service does. So I don't know how they do it, but I used to use this service manually where I remove the padding from the SVG. And then I basically built that thing that does that automatically for you as part of the SVGO. So this is basically a plugin that you install as part of the SVGO ecosystem, and then you can automate removal of paddings but fuck it, if you care, you can find it there. I explained here what the problem is and why that exists. Cool. All right, that's great. So we'll need to do that. So that now works. I think it should be, for the most part, good. What the fuck? All right, never mind. So yeah, so let's not. That's the most useless change I could make. Okay, so practically, could we say that we've kind of done this? That we have solved these issues. That, I mean, it would be nice if this content, right, was in fact. Yeah, exactly, Matty. We're using React, and I'm sure that even if this project ever becomes anything interesting, or I mean, if we get tens of thousands of people, and out of those 5 to 10% active members, no matter what, I don't see it not being React almost ever, because it's the thing is, I'm obsessed by simplicity, right? And I always strive to use as less technology as possible, right? Because less abstractions, less technology, everything is just so much easier, right? So instead of starting with those 16 different abstractions, you add abstractions if you need them, or if you need server-side rendering, then you, for example, say, okay, which part of it is that, what exactly do I want to server-side render? Oh, well, these articles would be better if they're server-side rendered. Then you figure out a way to server-side render only these things, right? So there's so many ways to be pragmatic, and there's so many ways to fail. There are even more ways to fail at not being pragmatic, right? So, if the SEO ever becomes an issue for us, because now we're dealing with different issues, right? Luminex, I'm not even remotely worried about that. Even if I have to write my own React server renderer for that, that would not be difficult at all, right? So I'm not even 2% worried about that, right? And I'm sure that React can do that as well anyway, but even if I had to write a little piece of library that can render my React objects, my React functions in the API, I'm sure I'm capable of that. So I'm not, less abstractions, the better. That's always the So this is basically the library that we're going to use eventually to generate the CSV. It doesn't really matter. Like there's no such thing, right, as Svelte can do this, React can do this. All of these things transpile into JavaScript, right? So it's not that these things do anything special. They have different APIs, they have different perception of the developer experience, but they're just JavaScript, right? So there's fundamentally no difference how they do it. The only question is, can you do it in JavaScript? Yes, then you can do it in any of them. For me, there's no such thing such as Svelte can do it. I mean, Svelte is another JavaScript abstraction, just as it's React and Angular and all of that, right? So it's I don't look at it that way. It's like, for me, React constructs some objects, right? And now you need to turn these objects into HTML, right? And you already have this React DOM, right? So which is a library that does exactly that for the DOM, for document object model, right? For the browser. I'm sure that there has to be some library out there that can take these React objects and do it in the server side, generating that same HTML just without having an access to the window object. Worst case, actually, what you can do is just spawn some headless window thing and do it, right? But there's no such thing as X can do it, right? Because it's all just browser JavaScript, right? And most of these things compile some objects and then use the DOM API anyway to render them in there, right? There's no other way, right? So Vue.js, Svelte, all of this crap, 7 billion libraries. Fundamentally, they're gonna say document get element by something, or selector or whatever. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. People who say this are generally very junior or very inexperienced. And also hating on a technology cannot be more childish, really. So use whatever you like, whatever your team likes, whatever makes you productive. And as always, make sure to build things. If you don't build anything, nobody gives a crap about your technology, right? That's all that matters. This is very typical for people who are just starting, especially, having these battles of frameworks and tools until a new one comes out in around 7 seconds, and then you start hating on something else, right? I'm just gonna save this almost as some sort of bookmark, because working with PDFs is the most annoying and one of the most difficult things out there. Properly working with PDFs, generating stuff properly. So we're gonna save that stuff in there, right? So I think, so there are two more things we need to kind of round up properly. So we build this meetups feature basically inspired by meetup.com. And my kind of goal with this is to start a JavaScript meetup here in Copenhagen. Again, I used to run JavaScript meetup here for a little while before Corona came. So my idea, or to say, not to say business idea, but the way to try to get also more people to the network is to organize meetups here, share them on LinkedIn, get people, and also have hybrid meetups like, so at Dream Data where I work, we have a beautiful office space on top of the building. And when I start organizing the meetup, it's going to be both on Twitch and physical, right? So I'm looking actually forward to that. And for that to happen, we need to finalize the meetups thing. I mean, it's for the most part done. All of these things are fundamentally done from the backend perspective, validated, all of that. But yeah, that was the problem, the way that we did some of these things in the stream. Like you finish 80% of one feature, 73% of another feature, 15% of this. So we just need to go back and round it all up and finalize it. You can see there's some of these like titles, what the hell is this, right? Blah 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 blah. But for the most part, I mean, it's done. And then the same with courses, right? Courses, yeah. So you can see courses are going to be difficult, right? I mean, I started this bootcamp on YouTube, right? And I started this bootcamp on YouTube, and I just need to continue doing that, right? I have this bootcamp, so I need to finish that bootcamp for the sole sake of having a course here that it's a free bootcamp, right? For the sole sake of people having a reason to also sign up. So that's the most difficult part of building any products, right? Is putting that initial value in there. Is like, why the hell would I sign up to your shitty platform, right? Good question. Great question. Anyway, we're going to have to finalize our own version of meetup.com. And again, most of that stuff is already there. We just need to figure out the UI and stuff. So it would be so cool if some of you would have the time, Leo, and some of you guys who are here with me every time I stream. I think it would be super cool if you guys would have the time to do a little bit of research on the UI of this stuff. It would be so helpful. I mean, I'm gonna post that on Discord, right? I'm gonna post it on Discord, but it would be super cool if you guys would have the time to help me with the UI for meetups, right? I mean, I think in the production we have some dummy meetups already, right? Yeah. So you can kind of see what we've built so far and try to figure out what we can do. But maybe this sort of hackathons I can start doing, right? Where the community just has fun and we bring more people onto the stream and blah, blah, blah. But then we try to build some of these features, and then maybe you can, win these merchandise, this crap, like a hoodie or whatever, right? I think that's not a terrible idea at all, I think. think we could do that. All right, well, we have 6 more minutes because I want to stick to the schedule. So let's see if people have questions. I'm very happy to answer them. Of course, if anybody needs an advice or at least a piece of my mind, please. And yeah, if you haven't and you don't mind, please sign up there. That would be pretty awesome if you would. They do support markup numerics. If you type like a hashtag, for example, and then you type something, you're gonna start writing the yeah. So they do support Markdown, yes. So if you use the star, if you use the now pasting the markup, I didn't check, but if you try to paste the markup and it doesn't work, will you stream tomorrow? I haven't planned, but I might. Keep in mind that the schedule that I made hasn't been made random. I kind of spoke to my wife. I wish I want to stream all the time, of course, but let's see. I mean, I might look. So the schedule that I have is something that I tend to adhere as much as possible. Does that mean that I'm not going to stream on some other days that might not be in the schedule? No, I still might do that, right? But fundamentally, the schedule part is the one that gives you the most accuracy in it. I don't want to stream, every day. I do this as a hobby. This is fun for me, and I really need to make sure that it stays. I intend to stream for many years ahead, right? So I'm not going anywhere, which means this is I kind of let me tell you one thing. Like for this 1 year plus streaming, I kind of really it grew on me in a good way, and I realized that you cannot read. This is a grind, right? So and I have a full-time job and all that stuff. So I just kind of decided, I'm not gonna compete with anybody. I'm not gonna be streaming 6 hours a day so I have more viewers and stuff like that. So it really kind of settled properly in my soul, right? It's like now I don't care if there's 10 people watching or 70 or 150. I just try to enjoy it, and this is kind of where it landed. So it's gonna be balanced and nice, and it's gonna be a long thing, right? Is using React Query good for? Yeah, I mean, if you need the features that React Query provides, then yes. I mean, keep learning. Try to compose these questions as an engineer, right? Is using React Query is the same question people here ask. Is using X good? Good for what, right? You instead of asking a question like that, try saying, I have this problem, and this tool seemed to be providing a solution to that problem. Should I use that, right? So, I mean, you don't need to use libraries to fetch data, right? If you just need to fetch data, you can just use native fetch or, even lower level constructor for doing that, right? For using HTTP, right? So it depends. Go to React Query, read all the features that it offers, see if it's an overkill to installing an external dependency. Can you just write? So it's try to ask the questions rather from the perspective of the problem you're having rather than the tool. What amps you got? I got Boss Katana. That's the only one I have right now, and actually I have the small Marshall here. So I have the 30 amp Marshall, and I have Boss Katana head, and I have obviously studio monitors and Focusrite audio interface here. So mostly if I'm recording music or whatever, I would plug myself into this computer from which I'm streaming. And then because, my wife and kid, they sleep in a room right next here, So yeah, I usually can't turn up my amps too much, right? Because I would wake them up and stuff like that. All right, let's see if there's any more interesting things. Music is life, man. Music, family, and being fortunate like us here to do what we like. We're truly, truly, we should be laughing when we're waking up, right, every day. No, I don't think I would. I mean, of course, you can live in reality without anything except air, food, and water. But in my house and in my life, music plays all the time. Sometimes it's a classical music, sometimes it's metal, sometimes it's instrumental, experimental, right? But depending on the mood. Khalid Vanu, it's we're building a platform called Programmer Network. Feel free, please, to sign up if you wish. That is the that is where it is. But yeah. That is how it is. I think yeah, a lot of there's we had these friends that we had over past 4 days. My friend says I don't listen to music at all, and I'm like, man, I got sick for these 3-4 days that you were here, couldn't play the music, so it's kind of crazy. Well, all right, fellas, what is to say? As always, not a friend anymore. Exactly. As always, thank you. I wish you best. Be smart, work hard as always, and what is to say? Thank you for being here. I might stream tomorrow. It's not in my schedule, but I might do it depending on my wife and kid. But if not tomorrow, it's after tomorrow. But yeah, keep an eye on Discord if you want. If you don't, what can I do? And good night, everybody. Peace out. Have a great one. Cheers.